Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Imagine if the actors from the Marvel Cinematic Universe were to play Major League Baseball against legends past and present, and that's what you'd have right here. A 162-game regular season. Right now, the Hollywood Avengers are 80-46. They've played 126 games. This is game number 127 out of 162 plus. This is the calendar. We've won it's a quick 2-game set against the San Francisco Giants at home. The Avengers have won the first game of this 2-game set 6-1. They're looking to finish it up, do this little quick 2-game sweep. Let's press that. Organizations games. Bradley Cooper, play the game. All preceding games will be simulated. Do you want to continue? Okay. Play full game. We are the home team at Crosley Field, which has been the designated home ballpark for the Hollywood Avengers in this created franchise on MLB The Show 20 for PlayStation 4. Broadcast, clear skies. Bradley Cooper, a.k.a. Rocket Raccoon, is the starting pitcher, so we'll click that. Everybody looks well rested, so we will click that. Let's rock and roll. Skip that. All right, so these are the starting lineups. I hit, I pitch, I field. I do not run the bases. I let the computer run the bases for me. And the difficulty setting is set to All-Star for both hitting and pitching. Not looking to impress anybody, just looking to have a good time. Again, RC Robbin, please like the video. Thank you for watching. Live here at Crosley Field. Get ready for some Major League Baseball as the San Francisco Giants visit the Hollywood Avengers. On the mound for the Avengers, Bradley Cooper. He plays Rocket Raccoon, or at least voices Rocket Raccoon in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not having a great season. His record is 8-10 with a 5.16 earned run average. And leading off for the Giants, Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn, 292, 5 homers, 38 runs batted in. He was a much better hitter in real life. Fastball inside corner for strike one. So the Avengers are a half a game back in the National League West. They were basically placed in there. They've taken the place of the San Diego Padres in the National League West, and they are chasing the Los Angeles Dodgers for first place. Half a game out here in mid-August. We've got about a month and a half left of baseball. Pitch is low. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Changeup floats in there. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Gwynn. Gwynn is a member of the 3,000 hit club. He played for the San Diego Padres for his career. 3,000 hitter, batting champion. Jams him, fouls it back. Count will remain 1 ball, 2 strikes. 63 degrees and clear skies here in Crosley Field, suburban Ohio. I don't know why I picked Crosley Field. I just like the dimensions. I thought it looked cool. And that's a deep drive to left, but playable for the Winter Soldier. And that's the first out here in the ballgame. Starting lineup for the San Fran Giants: Tony Gwynn is in right, Chipper Jones is at third, Jimmy Fox is at first, Cal Ripken Jr. is at shortstop, Brett Boone's the second baseman, Eloy Jimenez is in left, Shane Victorino's in center, the DH, Domingo Santana, batting ninth, playing catcher, Caleb Hamilton. Chipper Jones, 347, 20 homers, 61 runs batted in. Chipper Jones played for the Atlanta Braves during his Major League career. Swing and a miss, strike one. I honestly do not know if he is a Hall of Famer. I know that he was a perennial All-Star. I know that he got close to 3,000 hits, close to 500 home runs. Fouls it back. Count is quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. When I think of Chipper Jones, I think of a Hall of Famer, but I don't know what his status is currently. Maybe if one of you want to look that up on Google, I would appreciate it. Line drive headed towards the right center field gap. Racing over is Dave Bautista. Drax makes the catch. Nothing gets over his head. He'll catch it. And that's the second out here in the top of the first. Batting third for the Giants, Jimmy Fox. He's hitting .317. He has 33 homers and 93 runs batted in. He is also a legendary player. Fastball outside corner. Strike one. Jimmy Fox played for in like the 40s and 50s. I don't even remember what team he played for. My hunch is fouls it off down the right field line. Count is 0-2. My hunch is he played for the Detroit Tigers, but I really don't know who Jimmy Fox played for. Here comes the pitch from Rocket. Swing and a miss. Tied him up inside, knots. And the side is retired. It's a strong first for Rocket. Half inning played. It's the Giants nothing. The Avengers coming to bat. This is Avengers baseball. On the mound for the San Francisco Giants, Bob Feller. Bob's only 9-10 this season with a 5.40 earned run average. I think he should be better. He is one of those old-time legendary pitchers who probably won 20 games over and over and over. Leading off for the Avengers is Anthony Mackie, 307, 15 homers on the season. Anthony Mackie plays Sam Wilson. He yanks it foul for strike one. The Outlander show is present. Welcome, Mr. Outlander. Thank you for visiting the stream. Your presence is always appreciated. Here comes a pitch from Bob. And he's late on the 100-mile-an-hour fastball. And the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. This is the second game of a quick 2-game set against the Giants. Avengers won game 1. And that's a line drive base hit to center field. Cut the check. So leadoff man is on here for the Avengers in the bottom of the first. Next up, Spider-Man Tom Holland hitting .367 to lead the ball club. He has 16 homers and 73 runs batted in and carries a 12-game hitting streak into this contest. So Mackie leads off first, big lead at first. And the pitch out, but nothing doing. Mackie's back. The Giants are in last place in the NL West, so this is a case of a team at the top of the division playing a team at the bottom of the division. Count is 1 ball and no strikes to Holland. In the dirt, blocked nicely by the catcher Caleb Hamilton. Count is 2 balls and no strikes. Breaking ball inside, 3 balls and no strikes. Will Tom Holland have the green light on 3-0? No, he will not, because I don't swing on 3-0 as just a matter of personal principle. I always take a 3-0 pitch. And that's why, because my anxiety would make me swing at that 3-0 pitch and probably strike out or, like pop it up for an out. But instead, it's a walk to Spider-Man, and there are runners at first and second and nobody out for Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. is hitting .289 on the season. He has 18 homers and 74 runs batted in. 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Jams him, high and tight, fouls it back, strike 1. Mackie leads off second, Holland leads off first. Here's the pitch from Feller. And he fouls off the curveball, and the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes to Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. is the man who started it all in the MCU with the first Iron Man film back in 2008. And that's a line drive, a base hit, rounding third and heading home is the new Captain America. It's an RBI single for Tony Stark. We love you 3000. And already the Avengers have an early 1-0 advantage in the bottom of the first. Here's the replay as I caffeinate. Next up, the Incredible Hulk, Mark Ruffalo. He leads the ball club with 28 homers and 108 RBIs. Still nobody out. Went too far, ball got away, but no advance. Couldn't check it, so it's strike 1. Mark should get some votes for the MVP of the league. In the dirt, count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Low, 2 balls, 1 strike. Runners at first and second, still nobody out. 2 balls, 1 strike count. And he fouls off the 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes. Holland leads off second. Tony Stark leads off first. And that's a slow bouncer. And he decided at the last minute to not go for the double play and instead takes the easy out at first. So it's a productive out for Mark Ruffalo, as there's now runners at second and third with one out. Starting lineup for the Hollywood Avengers: Anthony Mackie's at short, Tom Holland's at second, Robert Downey Jr. is at first. Mark Ruffalo is behind home plate. Chadwick Boseman plays third. Dave Bautista's in right. Sebastian Stan's in left. Idris Elba is the designated hitter and batting ninth, and playing center field, Don Cheadle. Chadwick Boseman, the late great Chadwick Boseman, hitting .337 on the season, has 2 runners in scoring position and only 1 out here in the bottom of the first. And he fouls it back, 4 strike 1. Chadwick played Black Panther in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He has 16 homers and 61 RBIs on the season. Unfortunately, we lost Chadwick Boseman in real life to colon cancer. May he rest in peace. Fastball outside, count 1 ball and 1 strike to T'Challa. It's a big spot in the game. Big difference between a 1-0 lead and a 3-0 lead. Just got a piece of that 101 mile an hour fastball. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He struck him out in front of the breaking ball, and there's 2 away. Big strikeout for Bob Feller. So he does not get that runner home from third with less than 2 outs, and it will require a hit from the next batter in order to get those runs in. That batter will be Drax the Destroyer, or Dave Bautista, hitting .315. He has 13 homers and 62 runs batted in. Pitch is high, ball 1. Drax is from the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. Runners at second and third with 2 away. And he couldn't hold back on the changeup. Count as 1 ball and 1 strike to Bautista. Breaking ball low, 2 balls, 1 strike. For those of you that are curious, options, gameplay. Hitting difficulty is set to All-Star, and pitching difficulty is set to All-Star. So runners at second and third, 2-1 count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, 1-0 lead for the Avengers. Down and in, hitters count, 3 balls, 1 strike on Bautista. Let's see what happens. Another ball and the bases are loaded. And he fouls the fastball back. Count will be full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. A lot of pitches. This is pitch number 25 here in the first. And he walks him. So the bases will be full of Avengers here with 2 outs in the first. Next up, the left fielder, Sebastian Stan, who's been cold in his last 5 games. He's 2 for his last 16. Overall, he's hitting .276, 9 homers, 37 runs batted in. He's a left fielder today, but he has the bases loaded with 2 outs. Big hit here could change the complexion of this game. Fastball outside, ball 1. Nowhere to put him. Needs to throw strikes. Late on the fastball, slices it down the right field line, out of play. Count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike to Sebastian. Line drive, it's in there. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. He will make the turn at first and head to second. It is a 2-run double with 2 outs for the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes. And the MCU now takes a 3-0 lead here in the first. He just kind of, oops, excuse me, swing over the head of the first baseman and just inside that first base line. Next up, the designated hitter, Idris Elba, .265, 7 homers, 39 RBIs. Runners at second and third, still 2 away. A hit here could possibly put this game away here in the first. Let's see what happens. Low ball 1. Next pitch from Bob Feller will be pitch number 30 here in the first inning. He won't be able to go very long. He couldn't hold back, but change up. No, check that. The curveball was in there for strike 1. Count as 1 ball and 1 strike. Checks the swing. Fastball's high, 2-1. Idris Elba plays Heimdall in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the Thor franchise. Again, runners at second and third, 2 away. Checks his swing, fastball's outside. Hitters count, 3 balls, 1 strike. On deck is War Machine Don Cheadle. It's already a 3-0 lead for the MCU here in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch from Bob Feller. Fouls it back. Count will go full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And it's an excuse me swing. Charging is barehanded by Chipper. He cannot make the play. It is an RBI ground out, and the MCU leads 4-0. An excuse me check swing down the third baseline. Charging is Chipper Jones. He knows he doesn't have a lot of time. If he gets the out at first, the inning will be over. He barehands it, makes a strong throw, but the speed of Idris Elba going down the line causes it to be an RBI ground out and a 4-0 lead for the Avengers. Up next is Don Cheadle, War Machine. He's hitting .278, 10 homers, 59 runs batted in. After a cold beginning to the second half of the season, he has gotten hot lately. Runners at first and third and 2 away. And it's a deep drive. Back goes the fielder looking up. Oh, it's a catch at the warning track. He almost had a 3-run home run, but Tony Gwynn retires the side. But not before the Avengers score 4 times. And at the end of 1, it is the Avengers 4, the Giants nothing. After that, I need to get myself a little caffeination. Leading off the top of the second for the San Francisco Giants. Their Iron Man, Cal Ripken Jr., hitting .273. He has 31 homers and 96 runs batted in this fictional franchise. Fastball in there, strike 1 from Bradley Cooper. Cal Ripken Jr. was the Iron Man who played for the Baltimore Orioles in the 80s and 90s. He was called the Iron Man because of his consecutive games hitting streak. He grounds it to the shortstop. Mackey throws to first in time, 1 away. I think it was 2,631 games, I'm not sure. In any event, the defense for the Avengers in the outfield from left to right is Sebastian Stan, Don Cheadle, and Dave Bautista. And in the infield, Chadwick Boseman, Anthony Mackie, Tom Holland, Robert Downey Jr. with Mark Ruffalo behind home plate. The Avengers lead the National League in fielding percentage with a month and a half to go. Next up for the Giants, Brett Boone hitting .277. He has 33 homers and 86 RBIs. Second baseman. Here comes the pitch from Rocket. It's in there, strike 1. So, good start to the game for the Avengers. They have a 4-0 lead here in the top of the second. And that's a deep drive to center. Racing over towards right center field is Don Cheadle in front of the warning track, makes the catch for out number 2. This is Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. I appreciate your presence. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your time. Please like the video if you have an opportunity. If you can't stay for long, come back for another one of my live streams at a later date. Up next with 2 outs and bases empty is Eloy Jimenez hitting .255, 22 homers, 56 runs batted in. 2 outs, bases empty. Here's the pitch from Bradley Cooper. Fastball looked, I guess, low. Ball 1. So the shift is on for Jimenez. 3 infielders on the left side of the infield. They expect him to pull. Swing and a miss, the cut fastball. Count as 1 ball and 1 strike. Jams him, fouls it back. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think Eloy Jimenez is a current Major League ball player who plays for the Chicago White Sox, if I'm not mistaken. Just gets a piece of the forkball, fouls it off to stay alive. Count is still 1 and 2. High and tight. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty, 4-0 lead for the MCU. Here's the pitch. And he yanks the 2-seam fastball down the left field line out of play. And the at-bat will continue. Swing and a miss out in front of the changeup. Struck him out, and the side is retired. Another 1-2-3 inning for Bradley Cooper. After an inning and a half of baseball, 4-0, Avengers lead. So we go to the bottom of the second, and up steps the leadoff man, Anthony Mackie, who had a single and scored a run in his first at-bat. 35 pitches in the first inning for Bob. And he yanks the first pitch down the right field line, out of play, strike one. He needs a quick inning in order to get back on track. Change up low. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. A little late on the fastball, skies it to left. Easy play for Jimenez, and he makes the catch for the first out. Next up, Tommy Holland. No official at bat because he walked in the first inning. Tom Holland leads the ball club in batting average, 367 in the top 3. That's a ground ball to the second baseman. Brett Boone fields, fires, got him. And there's 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Next up, Robert Downey Jr. He had an RBI single in the first. 2 outs, bases empty. Fastball outside, ball 1. Low, 2 balls and no strikes. Oh, 3-0. Will he have the green light on 3-0? No, he will not. He's not going to swing. And it's a 4-pitch walk for Tony Stark. 2-out walk here in the bottom of the second will bring Mark Ruffalo, the Incredible Hulk, to the plate. Mark grounded out in the first. He's 0 for 1. Leads the ball club with homers and RBIs, 28 and 108 respectively. And he yanks the slider down the left field line, high and deep but foul for strike 1. And he yanks it foul. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Ruffalo. Slashes it down the right field line, out of play. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes. RDJ leads off first, 2 down here in the bottom of the second. 4-0 lead for the Avengers. And he chases a high fastball for strike 3. And the side is retired. So after 2 innings of baseball, it's 4-0 MCU. This is Avengers Baseball. We go to the top of the third. Up steps the center fielder Shane Victorino. Shane's hitting .320 on the season. Shane played for the Philadelphia Phillies in his major league career, and he grounds the first pitch foul for strike 1. He's not a Hall of Famer, but I think he was probably an all-star a couple times. He's part of a World Championship winning ball club for the Phillies in, I think, 2008. In there, strike 2, count as no balls, 2 strikes. Switch hitter, good defensive player, scrappy. And the likeness on him is absolutely perfect. Charging is Mackie, fields, fires, got him. And there's 1 away. Yeah, sometimes the likenesses on these players are just out of control. National League West standings, as you can see, the Hollywood Avengers are a half a game behind the Los Angeles Dodgers. If they win today, they will be in a virtual first place tie. San Fran is in 3rd place, 18 games back. So it's basically a 2-team race. Next up is the DH Domingo Santana, hitting .254 on the season. Here comes the pitch. And he yanks the fastball foul for strike 1. Domingo was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts yesterday. And it's a line drive to center field. Charging is Cheadle. War Machine makes the catch for the 2nd out. 2 outs, bases empty. Up steps the catcher Caleb Hamilton, hitting .242. He has 7 homers and 23 runs batted in on the season. And he pops him up. In the infield, Black Panther retires the side. So it's another 1-2-3 inning for Bradley Cooper. After 2.5, it's 4-0. Avengers lead. So we go to the bottom of the third. Speaking of Black Panther, he steps up to lead it off. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
The third baseman, number 20.
Out in front of the slider, swinging a miss. Count is no balls and 1 strike on T'Challa. And he's, again, slices it into the seats, foul way out in front, obviously expecting that 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes to Black Panther. Did he check it?
Did he go?
Yes, he did, according to the first base umpire. The count is 1-2. And swing and a miss. That's the second strikeout right there. Black Panther. Third strikeout of the game. And there's 1 away.
Now batter, the right fielder.
Nasty pitch.
Bautista.
Dave Bautista steps up. Dave walked in the first inning. No official at bat. Down and inside, ball 1.
Count 1-0.
Jams him inside with the fastball. Count will even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Dave Bautista is a former WWE professional wrestler before he became an actor. Checks the swing, slider in the dirt. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Low, 3 balls, 1 strike. Hitters count. On deck, the Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Feller. And he pops him up. Right side, foul territory. Jimmy Fox makes the catch for out number 2.
Now batting.
2 outs, bases empty. Up steps Sebastian Stan. He had a 2-run double in the first inning with 2 outs. And he swings and misses at the high inside fastball. Strike 1. Sebastian Stan in his last 10 games has 10 runs batted in, so he's been productive. He's been cold, but driving in 10 runs in 10 games is nothing to be ashamed of. Fouls off the triple-digit fastball. Counts quickly, no balls, and 2 strikes to Bucky Barnes. Chases a slider. Strike 3 called. Well, strike 3 regardless. So 1-2-3 inning. At the end of 3 innings of play here at Crosley Field, the MCU leads 4-0. So we go to the top of the 4th. Lineup turns over for the San Francisco Giants. Tony Gwynn, 1 for 5 in this short 2-game series. He is 0 for 1 today. Cooper sets and delivers. That's a deep drive, but foul for strike 1. And it's a slow roller to the pitcher, off the mound like a cat. He throws to first. Nice play by Bradley Cooper for out number 1.
Now batting, third baseman, Chipper.
Next up, Chipper Jones. Flew out in the first. He is also 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. That's a deep drive. I have a feeling that this ball game is no longer scoreless for the San Francisco Giants. That's home run number 21 on the season for Chipper Jones. And the MCU now leads 4-1 here in the 4th inning. Oof. I need to caffeinate. Here's the replay. Just got all of that one. Bang. Oof. Ouch. Well, still has a 3-run lead. Next up, Jimmy Fox. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Grounder up the middle, fielded by Anthony Mackie. Cut the check. There's 2 away. Cal Ripken Jr. steps to the plate. He grounded out in the 2nd. He is 0 for 1. Here comes the pitch. In there, strike one. 2,632 consecutive games for the Baltimore Orioles put Cal Ripken Jr. in the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. Hell of a player. Slicing, foul. Out of play, count is 0-2 on Cal. Grounded to third. Routine play for T'Challa. Black Panther throws to first in time to retire the side. But, no, not Cal Ripken Jr. Chipper Jones, solo shot. After 3.5, it's the Avengers 4. The Giants 1. Leading off here in the bottom of the fourth is Idris Elba. He had an RBI single, a 2-out RBI single in the first. This is his second plate appearance. Slider high and inside, ball one. With the injury to Chris Evans, I'm sure that the platoon, fastball outside corner, count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. The left field platoon between Idris Elba and Sebastian Stan, it will benefit them both as they will both become starters. Pitch is high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Backup catcher Benedict Wong will get some playing time, some extra at-bats. Inside corner, strike 2. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes on Idris. Hemdahl. And he yanks it foul. Count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just gets a piece of that slider to stay alive. The count will stay at 2-2. Outside, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. On deck is Don Cheadle. Swing and a miss, out in front of the breaking ball. Struck him out swinging, and there's 1 away. Strikeout number 5 for Bob. An up and down game. He's been effective with that breaking ball to get the strikeout pitch, but that 4 runs in the bottom of the first was the nail in the coffin. Up next, Don Cheadle, who's 0 for 1. And that looks like it is a bloop to center, but playable for Shane Victorino for out number 2.
Now batting, number 9.
Lineup turns over for the Avengers. Anthony Mackie's 1 for 2 with a single. Third plate appearance, pardon me. That's a line drive headed towards the left center field gap, and it will be in there. And 1 hop to the wall. He's off to the races. He will round second and head to third. The throw to third is not in time. It is a triple, 2-out triple. Cut the check. His 10th triple of the season. He trails Ahmed Rosario of the Philadelphia Phillies with 12, but now he has 10, a 3-way tie for second place in the National League. Next up, with 2 away, is Tom Holland. He walked, he scored a run. Officially, he's 0 for 1. Needs a hit to get that run home. Let's see what happens. Breaking ball outside, ball 1. The most exciting play in baseball is probably the triple, in my opinion. Swing and a miss out in front of the slider. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Left-hander Brett Anderson warming in the Giants bullpen. Late on the slider. Excuse me, swing. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, runner at third, 2 away here in the bottom of the fourth. 4-1 lead for the MCU. And he yanks it, foul. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Spider-Man. And again, out in front on the slider. Foul ball. This will be pitch number 75 here with 3 2/3 innings pitched. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at third. 3-run lead for the MCU. Bob Feller sets, and he delivers. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Tommy Holland. On deck is Robert Downey Jr. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. jams him with the 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Fouls it back. We'll do it again. Here comes the 3-2 pitch again. Ground ball up the middle. It's going to be a tough play. Backhanded by Brett. Throw is not in time. It is an RBI infield single for Tommy Holland, Spider-Man. And it's a 5-1 lead for the MCU. Tough play. Tough play. So runner at first, 5-1 lead for the Avengers. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Tony Stark is an RBI single today. Steps up to the plate with 2 outs. Fouls the fastball back for strike 1. Breaking ball is high, check the swing, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Holland leads off first. Quick throw to first, he's back. So 1 run has crossed the plate here in the bottom of the fourth. It's a 5-1 lead for the Avengers here in the second game of a 2-game set. Trying to do the quick 2-game sweep. They have the brooms out. See if they can finish the job. Check the swing, thought it was a strike, called inside by the home plate umpire. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike to Tony Stark. Swing and a miss. Couldn't quite gauge that breaking ball. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, throw to first. With 2 outs, this would be a good time to steal. And he yanks it high and deep, but it will curl out of play. The count will remain 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he swings and misses at the high fastball to retire the side. But they push another run across on their infield RBI single by Spider-Man. At the end of 4 innings of play, it's the Hollywood Avengers 5, the San Francisco Giants 1. This is Avengers Baseball. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Brett Boone is 0 for 1. Bradley Cooper sets and delivers. Fastball at the knees for strike 1. Brett Boone played for the Seattle Mariners in real life. And that's a deep drive. Would be a home run in any other ballpark. But here at Crosley Field, it is off the top of that scoreboard in left center. It's a leadoff double for Brett Boone. His 19th of the season. My goodness. That would have been gone in any other ballpark. Look at how high he hits this. Well, home field advantage. Next up, Eloy Jimenez. Runner at second, struck out in his first at-bat. Fastball outside corner, strike 1. Eloy's hitting .254 on the season. Fastball foul up the first base line. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Eloy Jimenez is hitting only .187 with runners in scoring position this season, so he's not comfortable apparently with that. Swing and a miss. Tied him up in knots. It's the first out of the inning here in the top of the 5th. Bradley Cooper's 3rd strikeout of the game. Here's the replay. Again, it's just not a strike. Showed no discipline. Next up, Shane Victorino, switch hitter, hitting from the left side against the righty Rocket Raccoon. And that's a deep drive. Right center field. Moving over to make the catch is Drax. The runner will tag and go to 3rd, so there'll be a Giant on 3rd base with 2 away here in the 5th. So Domingo Santana, the designated hitter, will need a hit or perhaps an error in the field to get that run across. Looked high, called a strike by the home plate umpire. Count is 0-1. Domingo Santana hitting a .162 with runners in scoring position. Again, just fouls it back. Count is 0-2. Not productive with runners in scoring position. So that's how your team is 18 games back. Misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 5-1 lead for the Avengers. Runner at 3rd here in the top of the 5th. And he jams him. Out into short right field is Spider-Man to retire the side. So, 4.5 complete here at Crosley Field. It's the Avengers 5, the Giants 1. Leading off here at the bottom of the 5th, the Incredible Hulk, who's 0 for 2 today.
Number 84.
Feller's still out there. This is pitch number 85 as we checks his swing. Fastball's outside, ball 1. Back in the days of Bob Feller, they would throw like 150 pitches a game, though. Line drive, 1 hop. Oh no, caught on a line drive by Cal Ripken Jr. for the first out. Highest team ERA in the National League. The Giants are in the top 5 with their team ERA. Next up, Chadwick Boseman, who struck out twice today. He's 0 for 2. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. And that's a line drive. That's going to bloop in there for a base hit. He makes a big turn at first, but he will hold. It is a 1-out single for Black Panther, with a 1 out here in the 10-game hitting streak for Chadwick. So that's all for Bob Feller. Brett Anderson, the left-hander, comes in out of the bullpen. He's pitched in 5 games. It's 1-1 with a 5.17 earned run average. Next up, Drax the Destroyer. He's 0 for 1 officially. He has walked and scored a run today. He's going on the first pitch. Throw down to second is now on time. That's a stolen base. Wakanda forever, baby. Black Panther gets in scoring position for the Avengers here in the 5th. So, Boseman at second. And that's a line drive. That's going to be an RBI double. Oh, wow. Karam off the wall, throw to second. It's going to be closer than I thought, but it is still a RBI double nonetheless for Drax the Destroyer. And the MCU now leads 6-1 on Dave Bautista's 30th double of the season. Here's the replay as I drink my iced coffee down that left field line in the corner. It hopped back really strongly for Eloy Jimenez. Gotta put this glass down. Brian Abreu is in the bullpen. First pitch by Brett Anderson in there for strike 1. Sebastian Stan is 1 for 2 with a 2-run double today. Runner in scoring position with 1 out. 6-1 lead for the MCU. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Down and in with the sinking fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Nope.
3 balls, 1 strike. On deck is Hemdahl. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Up the middle, fielded by Boone. Throws to first, in time 2 away. The runner at second moves to third base on the throw to first. So, Idris steps up to the plate. He has an RBI single today. He's 1 for 2. He has an insurance run at third base. He'll need to get a hit to get him home. And it's a 2-hopper to Cal Ripken at short. In time, side retired. But they push across another run on the double by Dave Bautista. And at the end of 5, it's an official ball game. The Avengers lead 6-1. This is Avengers baseball. So we go to the top of the 6th. Up steps the catcher, Caleb Hamilton. He popped out in the 3rd. He's 0 for 1. Bradley Cooper sets and delivers. He skies it the other way to right, near the line. Bautista makes the catch for the first out. Lineup turns over yet again for the Giants. Tony Gwynn is 0 for 2. Steps up. And that's a deep drive. Back goes Bautista. He's racing. He will make the running catch, covering the real estate for this out number 2. Nice play by Drax. You can't get anything over his head. He'll catch it. As he said in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Here's the replay. So, 2 down here in the top of the 6th. Up steps Chipper Jones, who's responsible for the only run on the scoreboard for the Giants with his solo homer in the 4th. Up yet again. Fastball, called strike 1. Ground ball up the middle and through. It is a 2-out single for Chipper. His second hit of the ball game, and the 6th inning will continue for the Giants.
The first baseman, number 3.
Jimmy Fox is 0 for 2, steps up. Comes the pitch from Rocket. Fouls off the low fastball, strike 1. So the Avengers are 80 wins and 46 losses, but they're half a game behind the LA Dodgers. Obviously, they have a wild card spot well in hand, but of course you want to win the division. Fly ball to deep center. War Machine retires to the side here in the top of the 6th. After 5.5, it's the Avengers 6, the Giants 1. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Up steps Don Cheadle, 0 for 2. Turns around and bats from the right side against the lefty Brett Anderson. Switch hitter in this lineup. Very versatile lineup. And that's a line drive. Base hit to left on the first pitch here in the bottom of the 6th. A leadoff single for War Machine. Next up, Anthony Mackie, 2 for 3. Another switch hitter turning around and hitting from the right side. Grounder, foul, strike 1. Cheadle leads off first. Out in front of the changeup, swinging and miss. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Anthony Mackie has 15 home runs on the season. The leader in home runs on the ball club is the Incredible Hulk with 28. And that's a hard ground ball, base hit through the left side. 2 on, nobody out here in the 6th for the Avengers. Just that ground ball with eyes between short and third. Up next, second baseman Tom Holland, Spider-Man. Tommy Holland is 1 for 2 with an RBI single. He's got the average up to 368. And he pulls the changeup down the left field line, out of play for strike 1. Tom's in the top 3 in batting for the National League. And that's a bouncer. Over to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. It's a fielder's choice out at second base. So there'll be runners at first and third with 1 out for Mark Ruffalo. Too much speed coming down that first base line by Spider-Man. No, I'm sorry, he's not Mark Ruffalo. It's Robert Downey Jr. who has an RBI single today. He's 1 for 2. Left-handed hitter against the lefty pitcher Brett Anderson. Change up outside, ball 1. Sinking fastball is low. 2 balls and no strikes. We are in the 6th. It's a 5-run lead for the Avengers when they are threatening. Runners at first and third with only 1 out. And that's a deep drive. It's got a chance. It is off his glove. He brings it back into the field. It's going to end up being an RBI single. It would have been a 3-run home run if not for a gorgeous play by Tony Gwynn. He climbs the wall, gets his glove on it about 5 or 6 feet above the fence in right center field. Hits the base of his glove and he pulls it back onto the field, but it ends up being on the scorecard an RBI single. It's a 7-1 lead for the MCU. It's runners at first and third still. Only 1 out for Mark Ruffalo, who is 0 for 3. Here comes the pitch. And he fouls off the sinking fastball, strike 1. Ground ball up the middle and through. It is an RBI single for the Incredible Hulk. Hulk smash. RBI number 109 on the season. Tony Stark goes from first to third on the single. Here are the RBI leaders in the National League. Willie Mays, Say Hey Willie, Washington National leads the league with 117. Coming into this game, Mark Ruffalo had 180. He has 109 RBIs right now on that list. Next up, Chadwick Boseman, 1 for 3 with a single. Ground ball through the left side. It is an RBI single for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And it is now a 9-1 lead for the MCU. And they are just blowing the gates wide open here in the 6th. Next up, Dave Bautista and Brian Abreu will come out of the bullpen. This is his 44th appearance. His record is 2-3. He has a 6.86 earned run average. He will face Dave Bautista to lead off. First and second, 1 out, bottom of the 6th. 8-run lead now for the Avengers. And that is a line drive base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Tony. The throw to the plate is not in time. It is an RBI single for Drax the Destroyer, and it is double digits runs today for the Avengers. They have a 10-1 lead. Here's the replay. Line drive up the middle. Slow runner coming around from second. I said that it was Tony Stark. I apologize. That's Mark Ruffalo. Same speed. Next up is Sebastian Stan, the Winter Soldier. 9-run lead for the Avengers here in the 6th. Breaking ball in there, strike 1. Sebastian has a 2-run double today. Runners at first and third, only 1 out still. Fastball outside, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. This is Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Welcome to the live stream. Don't forget to like that video. And he fouls it off a little late on the fastball. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. So we have Chadwick Boseman at third and Dave Bautista at first, and that's another single up the middle. It's an RBI single for Bucky Barnes, and it's now a 10-run lead for the MCU. Is there such thing as a mercy rule? No, there's not. It's 11-1 MCU. And the onslaught continues here in the bottom of the 6th. That's what caffeine will do for you, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, Hemdahl. Idris Elba's 1 for 3 with an RBI single today. Seems like everyone has an RBI single today. Skies it to right, slicing out of play for strike 1. Runners lead off first and second, 1 away. Here comes the pitch. That ball is high. It is far. That ball is gonzo. It is a 3-run home run for Hemdahl. His eyes see all. Home run number 8 on the season for Idris Elba. And if I'm not mistaken, it is a 14-1 advantage here in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Avengers. Oh, yeah. Let's watch the replay. Those eyes see all. Bang. Oof. 395 feet projected. I think it's a 14-1 lead. In relief, Cooper Casad making his 37th appearance out of the bullpen. His record is 5-1 with a 4.98 earned run average. He will take over in this mess. 14-1 up next. Switch hitter Don Cheadle hits from the left side against the righty. It's 1 for 3 today. Breaking ball is low, ball 1. And he jams him, pops it up, shallow center field. Charging is Shane Victorino for the 2nd out.
Now batting.
2 outs, the lineup turns over yet again for Anthony Mackie, the new Captain America. He's 3 for 4 today. He has 2 singles and a triple. And that ball is high and far, but foul for strike 1. Fastball at the knees, but called a ball by the home plate umpire. In the Knicks on-field listen to me. In the Giants on-field bullpen is Nick Whitgren getting loose. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Anthony Mackie. That's a drive to right, but playable. Or is it? Back goes the left fielder. Collides with the wall, makes the catch. Gorgeous play by Tony Gwynn. However, the Avengers score a boatload of runs. As we go to the top of the 7th inning, the end of 6, it's 14-1 Avengers lead. This is Avengers Baseball. So leading off the top of the 7th is Cal Ripken Jr. for the Giants. He's 0 for 2, 2 ground outs. Bradley Cooper deals. Fastball in there, strike one.
0-1's the count.
Ground ball to the right side, fielded by Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. takes it himself to the bag for the first out.
Now batting, second baseman.
Next up, Brett Boone, 1 for 2 with a double in his last at-bat. Steps up with 1 out. Ground ball to the shortstop, fielded by Mackey. Cut the check. And there are 2 quick outs here in the top of the 7th. Bradley Cooper is cruising. 2 outs, up steps Eloy Jimenez. In this short 2-game set, he is 0 for 6. He's 0 for 2 today. But that is not the case any longer. That ball is gone. That's a solo home run from Eloy Jimenez, his first hit of this 2-game series, his 23rd homer of the year, a solo shot, and the Avengers now lead 14-2. Excuse me while I drink my coffee. Here's the replay. Rocket Raccoon. And he crushes it. Next up, Shane Victorino, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. And that ball is high. It's got a chance. Bautista at the track looking up. It's gone. Back-to-back homers here in the top of the 7th from the Giants. Victorino's 16th homer of the season, a solo shot, and the Avengers lead 14-3. So they say that when you get a big lead, you just start throwing cream puffs up there. It's like batting practice now for the San Francisco Giants. Domingo Santana steps up, 0 for 2. Swing and a miss at the fastball, 97 on the radar gun, strike one. Misses inside with the changeup, count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Hard ground ball, 1 hopper to the shortstop. Fielded, fires, got him. So they do score 2 runs on 2 solo shots, but get up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the 7th inning stretch. The Hollywood Avengers lead 14-3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ground. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Up steps Tommy Holland. He has an RBI single. He's 1 for 3. His average is at 367 on the season. Cooper Casada is out there for his 2nd inning of relief work. And he's out in front of the 2-seam fastball, pulls it down the left field line for strike 1. This is Avengers baseball. It is my attempt to play a full 162-game regular season, no skipped innings, no simulated games, all of them on YouTube. Breaks his bat, charging from the mound is Casad, throws to first in time, 1 away. Jammed him with the inside fastball. Nice pitch. Next up, Tony Stark. He's 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs today. He's at 76 runs batted in on the season. I suppose since we have a month and a half left, he's on pace to have 100 RBIs. That's kind of nice. Low, ball 1. So again, this is game number 127 out of 162. Obviously, after the 162 are done, I'm going to also play in the playoffs, and that's in there. Will he try for second? No, he won't. Not a lot of speed coming down that first base line. It is a single, a 1-out single for Tony Stark. It's his 3rd hit of the ballgame for Robert Downey Jr. Not a lot of speed coming around that first base, so since Tony Gwynn got over there quickly, he probably would have been out at second. Next up is Mark Ruffalo, the Incredible Hulk. An RBI single today. He's 1 for 4. Jams him, pops it up in the infield. Chipper Jones charges, and he makes the catch for out number 2.
Now batting.
Next up, Chadwick Boseman, 4 for 8 in this series with 4 RBIs. He's 2 for 4 today. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Runner leads off first. It's an 11-run lead for the Avengers. That's a line drive, but playable for Shane Victorino to retire the side. At the end of 7, the Avengers lead 14-3. So we go to the top of the 8th. Up steps Caleb Hamilton, the catcher. He's 0 for 2. Cooper's still out there. No reason to blow out the bullpen in an 11-run lead. Fastball in there, strike one. If he gives up a couple of runs, it's not the end of the world. Pulls the changeup down the left field line, out of play. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Fouls it down the right field line this time. The at-bat will continue. Swing and a miss. Struck him out of the 2-seam fastball. There's 1 away here in the 8th. Starter comparison. Obviously, Bradley Cooper, Rocket Raccoon, won this contest between the starting pitchers. 3 earned runs versus 6. He is in line for the win. Started today 8 wins and 10 losses. Unless there's some sort of tragedy, he'll be 9 and 10 on the season when this game ends. Stepping up to the plate next is backhanded, long throw from T'Challa, not in time. Tony Gwynn gets an infield single. It's a softly hit ball down the left field line. Chadwick Boseman could not make the play, so 1-out single for Tony Gwynn. Next up is Chipper Jones, 2 for 3 with a homer today. Fastball inside, ball 1. Attendance here at Crosley Field, 21,012. That's near a sellout. Crosley Field is a minor league ballpark. It seats about 25,000. And it's a fly ball the other way. Bucky Barnes makes the catch for out number 2. So with 2 outs, up steps Jimmy Fox, who is 33 homers, but he is 0 for 3 today. Here comes the pitch from Rocket. Grounded to third, over to second for the force to retire the side. So after 7.5 innings of baseball, it's an 11-run lead for the Avengers. They lead 14 to 3. Oh, yeah. You like to have a blowout every once in a while. Feels good. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Up steps Dave Bautista, who's 2 for 3, a single, a double, 2 RBIs on this season. Jams him with the high fastball. Strike 1. Cooper Casad is out there for his 3rd inning of relief work. 14 to 3 Avengers. Low, ball 1. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. This is Avengers Baseball. If baseball is not your cup of tea, and he hits a lazy fly ball to shallow right field, Gwynn makes the catch for out number 1. If baseball is not your cup of tea, why would you be watching, obviously? But I do have other live streams that are not sports related. Up next is Sebastian Stan. Obviously, I love my play-by-play. I love my baseball. But if you're not into baseball, check out some of my other live streams on this YouTube channel. Fastball inside from Cooper Casad. Count as 1 ball and no strikes. And it is a lazy fly ball to center. Easy play for Shane Victorino. He retires the side. 1, 2, 3 inning. No, I'm sorry. Pardon me, getting ahead of myself. That's out number 2.
Now batting, number 63.
Next up, Idris Elba. There's so many runs across the plate, I've lost track of the outs in the inning. Shame on me. Here's the pitch.
Nope,
Breaking ball outside, ball 1.
Ball 1, no strike.
Line drive to center, and Shane makes the catch to retire the side for real this time. So at the end of 8, we go to the top of the 9th. Last licks for the Giants. They need 11 runs to tie. The Brooms are out. So Bradley Cooper's on the mound against Cal Ripken Jr., who's 0 for 3, in order to attempt the complete game. Slicing down the right field line, out of play for strike 1. Bradley's only thrown 69 pitches. There's no reason why he can't have a complete game in a game where there's an 11-run lead. Again, slicing, a little late on the fastball, out of play. Count as quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Cal Ripken Jr. That's not a really good likeness of Cal. Some of the likenesses in this game, like Shane Victorino, on the money. Deep drive. Oh, I don't think anyone's going to get that one. That's gone. That's a solo homer for Cal Ripken Jr., his 32nd homer of the season. And it is a 14-4 ball game here in the top of the ninth. Here's the replay. Bang. I mean, I should get somebody up in the bullpen warming up. There's no reason to make Bradley Cooper struggle, but so the manager, before we pitch to Brett Boone, manager is going to go to his office, go to the bullpen, and I'm going to say that Stanley is going to warm up. Manager is going to send the pitching coach out to the mound and say, how do you feel? His confidence is high. He says, I'm not taking you out just in case. Brett Boone has a double in the fifth. He's 1 for 3. Finish out the game, rock it. Finish it out. In there, strike one.
0-1's the count.
Fouls off the changeup. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Still nobody out here in the top of the ninth. Last licks for the Giants. They need 10 runs to tie. Fastball high. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Brett Boone was a part of that steroid-fueled 90s where he was a guy who would hit 12 or 13 homers, and then all of a sudden one off season goes by and he hits 40 homers. I hate to take things away from him, but anyway, that's the first out here in the ninth. Stay tuned for post-game highlights. Up next, Eloy Jimenez, who hit a solo homer in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 7 in this series. Line drive. Base hit to right. It's a 1-out single for Eloy Jimenez, the second hit of this series. Second hit of the game. Here's the replay.
The center fielder, number 8, Shane Victorino.
So next up is Shane Victorino, who also had a solo homer in his last at-bat. Swing and a miss at the cut fastball, strike one. He has 16 homers and 51 RBIs on the season. And that's a line drive the other way between short and third. So another 1-out single for the Giants. They have runners at first and second now with 1 out. Still a 10-run ball game, nothing to be freaking out about, but Domingo Santana is up. Deep fly ball to right. Back goes Bautista. He makes the catch for out number 2, and the Giants are down to their final out of the game and this short 2-game series. Representing the final out of the game, Caleb Hamilton, who's 0 for 3 today. And that's a line drive. He will not be the final out. It's an RBI single for Caleb Hamilton, and the MCU now leads 14-5. Next up, Tony Gwynn, 1 for 4 with a single today. Line drive, caught to retire the side. Ball game over. Avengers win 14-5, and they take this 2-game series. They sweep, get the brooms out for this little mini 2-game series. That is win number 81 on the season for the Avengers. They're 81-46, and if I'm not mistaken, that win ties them for first place in the National League West with the Los Angeles Dodgers. So, important game to win. Here's the scorecard. Bradley Cooper gets the win. He is 9-10 on the season, 9 wins, 10 losses. Bob Feller gets the loss. Idris Elba with 4 RBIs is your player of the game. Idris Elba, Hemdahl sees all from the Thor franchise. So, Hollywood Avengers, 14 runs, 17 hits, no errors. San Francisco Giants, 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The final here at Crosley Field, the Avengers win 14-5, and this has been a presentation of Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching, and have yourself a great night.